sometimes in this life. Things just ain't right. They're oblique. But you know what? That's why we're here to
teach you math.
Yeah, to teach you math. Went Collective 2016. If your triangle just isn't right and you can't sleep sound at night, the law of sines and cosines can help you find the missing variable in the nick of time. The other day I was sitting in class thinking, man, how in the world am I gonna pass? All I know is Pythagorean theorem, and these triangles aren't right triangles. I called up my bro Sal Khan. I was like, hey bro homie, something's gone wrong. He said, don't worry, just donate $3 to my website and I'll teach you the good math, alright? No, don't give Sal Khan your money. Just listen to us and spend that extra cash on your honey. We'll teach you the law of cosines and sines, and then later we can check out my sick rhymes. But for now, here are the facts, straight math. We're leading you on the straight A path. So sit back and keep your arms and legs in the ride, cause math is as good as it gets. If a triangle just ain't right and you can't sleep sound at night, the law of sines and cosines can help you find this variable in the nick of time. First we gonna go over the law of sines. Angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. But don't forget about side, side, angle, cause you can do that too. You betcha. A lowercase letter stands for a side, and an uppercase letter is an angle, alright? So A over sine A equals B over sine B, and C over sine C equals everything you see. Plug in the known variables and you can find the missing piece to the triangle grind. Not so clear? Don't worry, we can solve it. Check out these examples, they're really lit.
Ayo class, we here to learn. Today we're gonna be discussing the law of sines. What is the angle of C in this triangle I have right here? So we know that angle A is 120 degrees, side A is 28. We know that side C is 15. So since we know both A and sine A, and we know C, we can find out sine of C. So we got A, just gotta set it up. 28 over sine of 120 degrees is equal to, we're looking for sine C, whatever that is, 15 over that. So what do we do now? Cross multiply right here and right here. Those are equal to each other. So sine 120 degrees times 15, multiply that, divided by 28, that's going to give you a decimal. So now you're going to have to inverse that, find the inverse sign. Inverse sign of the answer. Bam, 27.64, which is basically 28 degrees. And that is the angle measure of C.
Alright, hey class, what's up? How you doing? Today we're working more on the law of sines. They're asking us to find sine B, and they've given us angle C, and side A. That's it. Well, that doesn't do us no good, does it? So what do we have to do? Well, I'd say first we need to solve for angle B, but in order to do that, we need to solve for this little puppy right here. That's not much of a big boy. Angle A right there. We're gonna write out our equation here. How about that? There's our equation right there. So what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna plug this into our handy dandy calculators. You remember our cross multiplication, don't you? 9.93 sine 130 equals 7.606. And then we're going to divide that by 18. Now we're getting 0.426. And you know we're looking for an angle, so we're going to have to inverse our equation. You know we're using law of sines, so we're going to use inverse sine of 4.226. And that should give us our angle A, which equals 25 degrees. That's just great. That's brilliant. I love that. So now we can solve for our angle B. All the angles in the triangle equal 180. So we can do 180 minus 25 minus 130 equals angle B. So we're gonna get back to our handy dandy calculator. 180 minus 25 minus 130 equals 25. What would you know? An isosceles triangle, as luck would have it. It's an isosceles triangle, that's just great. So B is also equal to 25. Therefore, looking at this triangle, since it is an isosceles triangle, we can conclude that side B is also equal to 9.93. And that's your side B. You're welcome, America.
But what if it's side, 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 or side, angle, side? You know what you'll do? Use the law of cosines. If you're looking for a side, you're in the right place. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2B cosine A. If you're looking for an angle, it's as simple as could be. Cosine A equals B squared plus B squared minus A squared over 2BCE. Grab a calculator and get ready to rock. By rock, I mean do some trigonometric equations. Let's do it.
Law of cosines. Now, you might remember that in order to find the cosine of an angle, let's say B, you multiply or you add A squared plus C squared minus B squared, don't be tricked, all divided by 2 times A times C. But let's say you need angle A or angle C. You can manipulate this to help you out. So if you're looking for angle A instead, you subtract them by A squared instead, and you plug in B where the A should have been. And if you're looking for angle C, you're subtracting by angle C instead. So you can manipulate this however ways you wish. Cosine of A, just gonna be B squared plus C squared minus A squared, all over 2 times B times C. Beautiful, don't be scared. All right, so using the cosine of B equation, cosine of B is going to equal A squared, which is 65.41 squared, plus C squared, 45.84 squared, minus B squared, which is 37.86 squared. That's the first part. Now we divide in. So we're multiplying 2 times A, that's 65.41, times C, which is 45.84. And we got 65.41 squared plus 45.84 squared minus 37.86 squared. Okay. All that divided by 2 times 65.41 times 45.84. You get another decimal. But you know why? Because we're working with angles, so we're gonna inverse it again. And we're working with cosine. So second inverse cosine, you plug in that number that we just got, bam. Cosine of B is 34.43 degrees.
We're going to learn a little bit more about law of cosines. Today we're solving for a side. So look right here. You got side A, well we don't know what it is. And we got side B, which is 14, side C, which is 29, and side C, which is 29, and angle A, which is 26 degrees. So what you gonna do? Well, if we see our sick equation right here, we're just gonna plug it in. How cool is that? Side A squared equals 14 squared plus 29 squared minus 2 times 14 times 29 cosine of 26 degrees. Now, isn't that just the bee's knees? Let's plug it into our calculator, why don't we? That sounds good to me. So let's see, what do we got here? We got 14 squared plus 29 squared minus 2 times 14 times 29 cosine of 26 degrees equals 307.179. But wait a second, that's a squared. So to solve for a, what do? We are just going to square our answer. And you get 17.526. So what does side A equal? Side A equals 17.52, and actually you'd round, so it's 0.527. And that's just math.
This is the hardest unit, so Mr. B says, and I have to agree with him because I got a 72 on the test. But with hard work and dedication, your math skill will help you rule the nation. If your triangle just isn't right, and you can't sleep sound at night, the law of sines and cosines can help you find the missing variables in the nick of time. We're a collective. God bless. Pre-cal. Oranges.
There's a car behind you.
You should have told me.